So your dog won't come back when you call them. You yell, you scream, you wave their favorite treat around, and they still flip you off and completely ignore you. Or your dog listens perfectly inside, but then when you go outside to reality, they completely ignore you. Rather, you just started recall and you're frustrated, or maybe you had an unfortunate scare and your dog wouldn't come back to you and it was dangerous. This video covers the 5 reasons why your dog will not come back when you call. But guys, this is not a quick fix. These videos I've been making are for dog owners who actually want their dogs to listen to them and of course have a better relationship. So make sure you watch this entire video because every single little piece I wrote down specifically to go over with you to help you with your dog and your relationship. So maybe grab a pen and paper and let's get to work. All right, really quick, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Tom Davis. I have worked with thousands of dogs all over the world, and maybe you guys have even seen me on TV training dogs. And if you guys are new to my videos, it'd be great to meet you in the comments. Tell me where you guys are from. All right, so let's get into why your dog doesn't come back when called. I have accumulated 5 exact reasons why this happens. And I've accumulated all of these things from the mistakes that my clients have made over the years. It's just not my opinion. Some of it is, but most of it, and a lot of it is exactly why it's happening in real life. Number 1, your dog doesn't actually know the word come. You see, when we teach our dogs behaviors, essentially they are listening to that one single word. And if we don't spend enough time teaching the dog exactly to get the dog right in the position, then they don't know it. You say the dog's name, the behavior, but this is what most people do, is they just say, hey, dog, come, me. So the dog knows their name, and you say this accompanied by lots of other stuff, right? Dog, don't do X. Dog, stop. Dog, sit. Dog, why did you do X, Y, and Z? So you say your dog's name, you acknowledge that you're talking to them, but do they actually know what the recall means? How much time have you spent working on it? So make sure you actually teach your dog what that word means, what the recall command means, with tons of practice and repetition. Come means that they come all the way to you, sit in front of you, and they don't just fly by you or grab a treat and then run off. So in other words, don't get lucky. Make sure your dog fundamentally understands that behavior, and not just recall. Any behavior, you really want to make sure your dog understands it at a very fundamental level. Number 2, you're asking your dog to come in a very unrealistic environment. Now, if you have a level 3 obedient dog, which is the highest level of obedience you can get, dogs like my personal dogs, you can ask your dog to come under any circumstance, even if there's a riot in the streets. By clicking on this video, you probably do not have that type of recall though. Stop asking your dog to do something that they don't know well enough to do in an unfair setting. This goes for literally any training with your dog, not just recall. Meaning if your dog doesn't have the recall command, or it's really sloppy, or you're just starting to work on it, don't ask your dog to do it in an unrealistic environment. Do it in your house. Do it in your basement. Do it in your driveway. Do it in your hallways. Do it in a place that actually makes sense for your dog at the level that they're at. Number 3, you're predicating all of your success with recall off of motivation. Let's say your dog knows come and they know it well. You've practiced it, you're ready to go, you're ready to rock and roll. And they listen great when there's no distractions and nothing else going on. Now think about this. If you're asking your dog to come back to you using motivation, food, treats, toys, etc., you're essentially teaching the dog to listen to the payment. Come to me and you get paid, right? It's fundamentals. Now this is a good thing. This is actually what we want. Using positive reinforcement to build our dog's obedience is like clockwork. It's exactly what anybody would do with training dogs, including myself. However, I have seen this backfire big time with dogs. When you go outside and you ask your dog to come and there's squirrels having a dance party across the street, kiss your dog bye-bye, because you are predicating your dog to come to you because you have a currency. And well, unfortunately, the squirrels are going to win that currency battle, and they will choose the higher currency every single time, whether it's squirrels, dogs, deer, etc. This is very common and a very big mistake that dog owners, you guys, and many dog trainers even make, which of course leads me to number 4, which is accountability.
Not as long as we have our imagination.
If you guys have gone through these steps and your dog knows come, they will do it up and down the streets. They can hear you loud and clear, but they decide not to listen. This is a huge, huge, huge problem. So your dog knows it, you've practiced it, you've done all the right things, but they still don't listen. Not only is this a problem because your dog is now running off to God knows where, but this could be very, very dangerous and deadly to your dog. It's like practicing and studying your whole life for something and your teacher or your coach tells you that there's no test, there's no game. All these things that you've been working on and practicing for weeks actually don't matter. Not having accountability for your dog means that every single thing you ask them to do is optional, which is dangerous at the very least. Correcting your dog for ignoring you when their life depends on it is your ethical duty as a dog owner.
With imagination, I can be anything I want.
This is so big, you guys. The number of dogs I've seen unfortunately die from getting hit by cars because their dog won't come back or run away. You see those missing posters all the way because their dog usually listens until they don't. Now, it's important that you guys know how to correct a dog, and I covered that in my No Bad Dog Kickstarter course, which right now using this discount code is $100 off today just for you. Head over to Tom Davis Courses or click the link below to take advantage of the savings in my courses. Number 5 is you guys are boring. This is very common mistakes that I had to add to this list because so many dog owners just tell their dog, come, in the least inviting, fun way possible. Don't be a bump on the log. Animate yourself. Invite your dog to you so learning is fun. Target yourself. You are recalling them off of rabbit poop, squirrels, dogs, deer, etc. You have to be fun and animated. Now, regardless, your dog should come no matter what you say and how you say it under any circumstances if your dog understands the recall well, but you guys are probably not under that category. You're just learning, why am I not being successful? Now, these are the reasons why your dog doesn't come back to you when called. And if you have all the skills, but you're still nervous about letting your dog off leash, this is very, very common for most people. I have a remote collar course, which ultimately gives you the safest opportunity to keep your dog off leash with reliability. Now, this course is very, very, very granular, and it's a complete breakdown on how to introduce the remote collar properly so you can enjoy safe off-leash freedom. And right now, again, you can save $100 off using this code on all my courses by heading over to tomdaviscourses.com or clicking the link below. So at the end of the day, guys, if your dog isn't coming back, these are the 5 top reasons why they are not coming back. Make sure your dog understands fundamentally what the behavior is, what come means. And as a reminder, make sure that when you guys are doing any new behavior with your dog, that you're doing it in a practice setting. You're not doing this in a realistic setting. That may sound counterintuitive, but if you guys are sitting there shooting a ball on an empty net, it's practice. It's not the real thing, which is an important part of training, but you have to learn how to kick the ball. You have to learn all the dynamics and all the fundamentals on how to get that ball into the net, just like recall. So it's very, very, very important. Don't go outside in a dog park and try to recall your dog. You're not going to win. And again, as a reminder, I think the biggest thing in this list is accountability. So many dog owners say, my dog won't listen. Do they know the behavior? Yeah, we've practiced it for months. They know it well. Okay, if they're not listening, because that's a realistic part of dog training, guys, just like with humans, just like with kids, just like with any type of psychology, if you're in charge of something and you say, hey, I want you to do this, or I need you to do this, and the thing that you're in charge of, the thing that you're responsible for giving guidance and direction decides to say, nope, I'm not doing that. I don't care what you say. I am running after the deer. I am chasing the bear. I am chasing the squirrel across the street. If you don't have accountability, it is detrimental and completely can trash your entire relationship with your dog, or in this circumstance, in this context, could also unfortunately get your dog severely injured or even worse. And as a final reminder, do not predicate your training off of motivation, because you will 100% without a doubt fail in your dog training when you go out to reality. If your dog says, I'm coming to you for food, I'm coming to you for food, I'm coming to you for food, $5 bill, $5 bill, $5 bill, and there's a $50 bill, all of a sudden that your dog has never seen before enters the mix. Again, the world is a place that we cannot, unfortunately, predict, and so things happen all the time, especially in reality when you're outside. And if your dog takes off after that motivation or the currency instead of what you have in your pocket, not only have you taught your dog that's actually okay to do, but it's really important to make sure that you have balance in your training with your dog. So regardless, guys, I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that it was helpful for you, and maybe consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. And also, I'm gonna leave a link right here of a full tutorial on recall, on the granule of how to introduce recall. This video is more about the 5 reasons why your dog isn't coming back. This other video that I'm posting right here is actually how to introduce the recall in general as a behavior outside of all the other things that I talked about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.